Hello, it's the Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. And today we have a special replay because we have two videos in the Tier 8 French Premium Light Tank, the Vanguard. But the first replay is featuring myself playing it, and the second replay is actually featuring my good friend Panda, who's also playing the Vanguard. But then in the second replay, I'm also in the replay, but I'm playing a different tank, but we're viewing it from the perspective of Panda in the Vanguard. So I thought it'd be quite interesting, a bit different. So as we start here in the Vanguard, we push quite aggressively on Redshire, where we are top tier, and it is there's 3 enemy light tanks and no enemy artillery. And you can see I pushed to this aggressive bush position early just to spot the cross to see if we're going to get any assistance from my team. But I get detected by the enemy light tank and I need to sort of dodge, weave and get out of there. If you want to see the equipment and crew setup I run in this tank, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen as I speak. So as you can see, we're just waiting for this light tank. He's taking hits from my friendly team. I'm hoping if he gets taken out, it's going to make our life a little bit easier. We decided to go in on him because he went over that ridge. Unfortunately, our first shot went in. My second shot only did track damage. And the third shot, we struggled with a little bobble on the train and missed. So not a great actual first initial clip. If you've never played this tank before, you've basically got fantastic mobility, fantastic concealment. So you're kind of a nightmare to hit on the move. And then you've got this 3-shot autoloader, which you've got 220 alpha per shot, with quite a long reload of about 24 seconds with this current build. So your DPM isn't really amazing, to be honest, but you know, you are, even when you're on reload, you can play that sort of passive scout or an active scout and go for the assistance. But you can see this enemy light tank here has got caught out in the buildings. We were able to dump our full clip in. Again, we are now targeted. We've got to be careful of those tanks on the ridge, and I'm feeling like this position is becoming a little bit risky, but I was trying to give it up as late as possible because I wanted to try and get as much assistance while I can. The main threat for me really are these enemy light tanks. If we can take care of these enemy light tanks, which are playing quite aggressively on the ridge, it'll help our tanks out because they're not going to be constantly getting spotted. It'll also make life a lot easier for me. So I'm going to try and take out this light tank. You see, I am detected, but no one's targeting us, so we don't have to worry too much. I think the things which were really spotting us were really the light tanks on the other end, which have managed to be taken out now. And that's going to allow us a lot more freedom to go back into this bush and actually try and spot for our team. So far we haven't really picked up any assistance, but it is starting to come our way now on these enemy heavy tanks we spot here. So I'm going to try and keep them detected. We test the water, seeing if we can be able to get our shot away unlit on this enemy Inferno, but it wasn't going to be the case. We do get spotted, but we do at least get 2 shots into him, and then we can dodge back into cover again, and then we start to pick up a bit more assistance as well for good measure. And already we're up to sort of about 1,500 assistance damage now, so it's starting to pay off for spotting these targets. It's a very even game at the moment, 11 versus 11. But these enemy heavy tank is starting to make his advance towards us. When he gets, you know, this distance, we're not going to be able to fire at him unlit. So, and he's kind of also below the ridge line, so the enemy teams not have great shots at him. We do pick up about 1,300 damage of our own and about 2,000 assistance though. So a decent start to this game. And interestingly, still even at this point. Now, still 9 versus 9. So it's been quite a quick battle, but it's still even scoreline, so anything can happen. So we extend our vision to this next ridge as our friendly team have pushed up. We're going to try and spot these tanks on the sort of sniper hill, and we managed to get 3 shots in. The last shot blind, finishing that enemy tank destroyer, which is nice. Now we're on our reload again. Again, still very, very even, but we're just trying to spot. We know there was that heavy tank in the low ground and underneath that bridge, which we were just trying to spot. We also know there might be some tank destroyers on the enemy ridge, and the rest of them are kind of pushing up down the 9-0 line, so we might be able to start trying to get behind these tanks soon. We try and get a shot into a heavy tank, because it's one I'd like to try and take out, because then it's less likely I'm going to get spotted, gives us a bit more room on the map, and he's a potential 2-shot to us now. I'm hoping our friendly team are going to shoot him. If not, I might have to start to look to get some shots in. But an enemy tank gets spotted crossing there, so we dump our remaining 2 shells, putting us onto 2,400 damage with 2,000 assistance and only 5 enemy tanks remaining now. And this is when I'm going to move up, and I want to try and get as much as I can. I know there's tanks in this like water bed in the 9-0 area. Can I get behind them on this ridge line? I've still managed to keep all my hit points, which is good. Enemy T-77 gets spotted crossing. Unfortunately, that shot does dirt. In the Vanguard, you do kind of want to fully aim your shots when you can, because it can be a little bit derpy. Like I say, the damage potential isn't great on this tank, i.e. the DPM. But that's kind of a good reason, because you are a pest, to be honest. You know, if anyone's tried to shoot the Vanguard on the move, it can be incredibly difficult when you're on full speed, just because the sheer size of it is very small. So we get our last remaining shell win, puts us on to about 2,600 damage with 3,000 assistance, and suddenly this game is become, you're looking like it's definitely going to be a win, isn't it? 7 versus 2. I just want to get one more full clip out, would be nice. So I'm just waiting here because I do have shots. I just need to wait for my reload to come in. Then we can probably dump our remaining shells into this Rhino here. Hopefully we can get our full clip away. Might even pick up the kill if we're lucky. But no, we're not going to get the kill. But we do get our 3 shots in. Put us under 3,300 damage. 1 tank remaining. We are on reload, so I don't think we're going to get the shots in, but we can afford just a full send in. Really doesn't matter if he shoots it at this point. I was just hoping to be able to get some more damage, but I do at least get a bit of assistance out of it, so it wasn't the end of the world. And that's the end of replay number 1. Let's see how we got on before we move on to our second replay featuring Panda. We get 2 kills, 3,300 damage, 3,400 assistance. So we have a decent game getting the ace tanker and the scout model there. So I think the tank I was in today is in the unskinned version of the Vanguard. It's exactly the same as the Vanguard, just doesn't have a skin. But we've got one more replay to come featuring Panda, so let's move on. Okay, so here we are for the final replay. This time it is Panda driving the Vanguard, but I am also in the replay. I am just in the Italian medium tank, and we are also platooned up with our friend Sapphires, who's a very nice person as well. So this time it's tier 10 matchmaking. So we are bottom tier in this lobby, and there's 1 enemy artillery and 2 enemy light tanks. Obviously 2 light tanks, 2 Vanguards in this platoon. So initially, Panda is going to try and play aggressively and spot the cross at the, kind of spot the 1, 2, 3 line area. That's at least where he's heading at the moment. You can see he's activated his food here. That's just to extend his view range that little bit more, give us a better chance of spotting some targets. So he just poked this ridge here early just to see if he's going to be able to spot anything. But as you can see, nothing's crossed at this stage. So he's going to try and extend the vision a little bit more, because I am coming behind Panda, so I can cover him shortly. Obviously, Panda's a lot quicker in this Vanguard, and he's seen an enemy back chat play very aggressively, and he's looking to try and get some shots in. But you can see there that shot dirt, because it is the Vanguard, and like I say, you do have to fully aim your shots. It can miss a few shots, and the gun's not the best on this tank, but it's just the novelty of the fact that the tank's so small, very good concealment value, and ultimately it can be a pest to deal with. I'm sure you've seen these Vanguards in the matchmaking, and they can be a nightmare. Obviously there's a lot worse tanks to deal with these days, but yeah, that's saying something. But Panda is again going to try and do a little bit of spot on run and clear the 1-2 line out. He spotted an enemy Leopard and an enemy tank destroyer Proto on the left here. Proto can't shoot him, so he's looking to get a couple shots in the Leopard. Unfortunately, only 1 shot did land, and he's forced to go on a reload. But he is keeping this enemy tank destroyer proxy spotted here. Maybe he'll be able to pick up some assistance. Doesn't look like he's getting assistance. As you see, I am behind and actually sort of helping Panda from a distance there. But he's almost reloaded, and then that means he's going to go in on this enemy tank destroyer, and he should be able to take him out within the 1 clip. He's caught him off unaware. He's not focusing on Panda. This is an easy kill for him now. Puts him onto a 1-shot and finishes him off for his first kill of the game. Putting him to about 600 damage and 1 kill with 12 enemy team remaining. And it looks like the majority of the enemy team is actually pushing down the 8-9 line now. So I think I've kind of said to Panda already, look, I'm going to start heading back that way to clear the base. So that gives Panda, enough time not to worry about, but I'm not, about getting a reset, because he knows that I'm heading that way. And he's just going to try and get some damage from this location. Now, he puts a clip into this Cobra, but he's got to be careful. The Cobra's got a Hesh pen. So we need to try and get out of dodge, dodge weave. Thankfully that Cobra didn't pen with the Hesh there. Artillery's looking to shoot him. So he's got out of line of sight from the Cobra now. And now he's going to go back in to try and kill this enemy artillery here. The Cobra's distracted by our friendly platoon mate, so he's come in now. He's got behind the artillery. He's not going to be able to kill him in one clip, so he's just going to put the one clip in, which puts him onto a clippable target for our other friendly light tank platooned with us. And now he's going to rush across back to the base to try and get back there and spot the base. Maybe pick up some assistance. You know, decent game so far on 2,000 damage. But you can see the fantastic mobility of the Vanguard is going to allow him to get back in no time. In theory, it's still a close game, 11 versus 9, so it's definitely not won yet, but it's looking pretty good for our team, I would say. He managed to get two shots into this enemy heavy tank there, the 705. It doesn't manage to finish him off, but he then gets slapped and unfortunately put down to a one-shot, which makes life a little bit awkward, only having 100 hit points left, but he's still well in the game. Going to try and get his last shell remaining on this enemy light tank there. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that shot in, but it's not a problem because he's on reload now and he's heading towards the remaining part of the damage. You can see still a close-ish game, but I would say our team's definitely got the advantage now because the enemy team are kind of pinned in one location and they're not going to be able to cap out. Now we're heading this way. Like I say, I'm battling the medium tanks. You can see me there on the mini map on the E sort of 5 position. Panda's going to come round and see if he can dump a few shots onto this medium tank, maybe clippable target. Obviously Panda is a one shot, so he's got to be careful of that, but the medium tank's not paying attention, so he gets one shot in, looking to try and finish him off, but doesn't roll quite high enough to get the kill there. Got to be careful that the E6 doesn't snap Panda and take him out. Mouse comes around. Thankfully he was able to pen the mouse because he was side on, otherwise things could have looked a little bit awkward there. But it puts him on to exactly 3,000 damage, 5,000 assistance and 2 kills. It hasn't had a lot of assistance damage this game. It's been very much damage focused. Like I say, my game was more getting a lot of spotting assistance. This game hasn't turned out that way. It's been a lot more damage, and he's going to go in and try and get a clip into this enemy heavy tank while he's distracted here. And this is the pain of the Vanguard when you are on the enemy team. He comes round, circles, dumps a clip here, and now he's going to get out of dodge before he's even going to turn his turret all the way round. And that enemy heavy tank's in a world of pain. And out he goes, out he escapes Panda, just to try and get to the remaining tanks. 3 enemy tanks remaining. They are all located in the same location. You see I'm heading over there myself. It looks like some of them do have some hit points, so hopefully you can get a full clip in here, which will put him closer to the, might be able to get above the 4,000 mark or close, which is a decent game when you are bottom tier in the tier 10 lobby. Got to be careful when he goes for the crazy jump there. Could have ended badly, but manages to pick up a kill. Can he get the kill on the enemy leopard? Unfortunately, one shell derped here, but he is able to squeeze one in, just not roll high enough for that 4th kill. Puts him onto 3,700 damage with 500 assistance, and that pretty much brings an end to the game. There's 1 tank remaining. I guess he's hoping he can just try and get a clip in, but you can see I'm also battling this tank here. He's still fairly healthy, so he might actually be able to get a full clip in here. This enemy tank is pretty much in a very, very bad situation, and you see here he's just going to pen just between the tracks. Hopefully, can he get the kill? No, I actually got the kill myself. And that is the end of the replay. So how did he get on? Let's get to the scoreboards. He managed to pick up 4,200 damage, 3 kills, and yeah, does in fact get the ace tanker there. And yeah, tight bit of assistance. So yeah, that's it for the replay. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.